BeatStars.com.
Hey, it is Friday evening, and what would a evening be without the Eve show coming to bring it to you?
Yes, it's been a long week. We come to talk some shit, kick it a little bit with you. But before we get into the show, let's go ahead and kick it to our sponsors really quick. So give it up for the 80 Souls. 80 Souls. 80 Souls is everything you need. Is a well-round company. Check us out. Go and look that up and check out 80 Souls Facebook page, Instagram. Hit us up. Pseudo Baker. Pseudo Baker is a super dope cable company.
Yes.
Definitely check out Pseudo Baker. It has everything you need, any televised, anything you can think of, anything that you haven't thought of is there. Pseudo Baker and Chill. Go check it out.
Agreed.
So let's get into our show. It's been a minute.
It has. Another Friday evening with us, Eve.
Yes.
You're spending the evening with us tonight.
So kick back and enjoy the show because we plan on giving you a wild one.
A wild one. Speaking of a wild one, I feel like since we've done our last show, a lot of wild shit has happened.
A lot of wild shit has happened.
Yeah.
For sure. Just in the media alone, a lot of crazy shit has happened.
Yeah.
It's almost to the point where we like, okay, where to start?
Girl, I don't know. I mean, it is. It's just so much. I mean, you don't know if you want to talk about something because you're trying to get to some sanity, or do we want to talk about where something good to eat at? I mean, your mind just like kind of all over the place. So damn, I made it home safely? Like it's just so much of everything. Just
exactly.
I mean, it's crazy out here, ain't it?
It is. There's a lot of stuff going on. I will say, one brief subject that I wanted to just point on too is like the possibility of a shutdown. What do you think about that? What's your thoughts about that?
I feel like honestly we have shut down enough. I feel like and that has nothing to I'm not saying not be safe or anything like that.
Right,
of course safety first. But I feel like the first shutdown, now that we are more informative about everything that's going on with health, with the COVID-19 and all the things that's going on, now that we're more aware, then we just need to know what to do and just follow those safety guidelines, be cautious of others and things like that. I honestly don't think another major shutdown is needed, in my opinion.
Right.
I just think that everybody just needs to be cautious, do what works for you, and let's get this economy going.
Exactly. I don't think we'll survive another shutdown.
I don't think we can't.
It's just not even feasible. It was too many businesses closed and too many things that had to get done for us to even feed the economy to where we are, and we're not even close to being ahead of water, so above water. I mean, so yeah, we definitely can't survive another shutdown. I think we just need to realize this is our new normal.
Yes.
So we need to proceed with that in mind. Be as cautious as necessary, or if you don't, then you don't. But I do feel like some of the job structures can change.
Yeah.
That would shut down a lot of things. Like what the economy has taught us is that a lot of our jobs can be done remotely.
Yes.
We don't need to be in office. We don't need to be any of that. We can literally do it from home.
Yeah.
So if we can do that, why not? We've done it for the last year and a half. So why not keep that momentum going? Especially if the whole quote unquote theory is that, okay, well, let's lessen the amount of people in the building together as possible. Then if you were a company that were allowing your people to work from home during COVID and it was successful, why stop now?
I agree. I think that a lot of politics are, I honestly don't know the details behind it, but I feel like a lot of politics is going on with a lot of these businesses doing whatever they're doing to keep us in the office,
Right.
because of whatever corporate background or requirements they have to keep the funding going.
Right.
And a lot of times I feel like wherever funding is needed, these corporations going to go for that first. Then they want to talk about safety in the public eye and what they think they're doing and what's going on. You know what I
Right.
mean?
For sure.
But of course, they're going to do what they're going to do, how they want to do it.
Exactly.
It's just how it is. But what I am glad about is that's only going to work for so long.
Exactly.
It's only going to work for so long.
For so long. I think what definitely another thing that's came out of the pandemic is, and we're not going to talk about this for too long, guys, because we don't even want to get into the black area or the black crowd, crowd over that, because I know some people were seriously in depression and serious anxiety from the lockdown and the shutdown. But I will say what we've learned, or what I've learned or observed through the pandemic, is a lot of small businesses were still thriving, because a lot of people has geared to online shopping even before the pandemic. So that's just heightened everything up even more. So those type of businesses were still thriving and booming through the whole pandemic. So I think what it has taught us is that corporate America needs to be really, really, really afraid, because you have a lot of competition out there.
Yes.
With private businesses and small businesses.
That.
Exactly.
I love that. I love that, because we've gotten away from the small businesses. If you think about it, back when our grandmothers and before that, back then, you had that private, intimate, small business that you were supporting. And I feel like we've lost the way for so many years.
Sure.
And the fact that now that is coming back to the point where in a modern day way, it's so dope now, I think. And I love the fact that that's coming back, to the point where it's like, it's more intimate shopping, is more, variety, is more like, it's so much into that. And that's another thing too that I would like to shine on, is not so much of the negativity of what happened in the pandemic, but a lot of positive things that have come out of it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, outside of us learning with everything that was going on and just understanding safety and things like that, it also gave us I know for me too, and I know I can't speak for everybody, for me too, I got a chance to really sit back in my home while I was working, being able to multitask, like the work-life balance, like we talked about with that. And then if you ever notice, like a lot of times when before the pandemic, we were just constantly just moving and going. Kids were going to school. If you got kids, if you live, your companion was going to work, your companion was going to work, you know what I mean? So everybody was kind of out the house meeting towards the evening of the day. You really got a chance to be there with everybody every day to figure out some real shit. You know what I mean?
To the families who were able to. Unfortunately, my boo still had to work during the whole. Shout out to the essential workers.
Man,
because
okay.
My husband never got a moment off. Actually, he was at work more during the pandemic than he was before the pandemic. So it was definitely one of those things where, he didn't get to benefit from it the way that I was able to benefit from it, just being able to be home with my children, kind of still work and kind of still engage in everything, have dinner ready and all of that. And it's still like daylight outside, like having the laundry done before Friday, and not having to do it Saturday or Sunday. Like dinner is ready on the table by 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. But yeah, he was definitely one of the essential workers that was out working like day, night, all the time, to the point where when it first hit, I was like, up, take clothes off in the garage, like put it like we went through that whole mode. But shout out to all the essential workers. Shout out to every from the healthcare workers to the fast food workers to the
To
janitors
all y'all, y'all
to
all
the
matter,
teachers to
man.
everybody who stuck it out and still came forth to do their jobs to keep everything afloat while the rest of us were able to sit at home. So I definitely feel like you guys all need a kudos and also some
Kudos,
type
shout
of
out.
payment,
They
some type
need
of
some type of incentive. They
reparation.
need. I agree
Yeah,
with that. Like they really did their thing, and I really want to give a huge shout out to all those people who've also volunteered outside of the essential workers.
yes,
Like people who got a chance to really be like, you know what, I'm fortunate. Let me go out here and at least, whether it was monetary, whether it was your time, whether whatever it may have been, that you were able to help through, whatever was going on. Like for real, shout out on that, because
for sure.
when you can easily get into panic mode, and
Right.
sometimes, and it's nothing wrong with that, because you're trying to figure out, it was a pandemic, we all didn't know what to do. So
Exactly.
you go in survivor mode. It's almost like you like, what the hell is you know what I mean, what's going on, what do I do?
Exactly.
And it's so easy to just kind of be like, let me make sure that my safety net, that my home is secure, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But shout out to people who got a chance to be like, yeah, this is good. And was able to still say, let's go out here and figure out for all the other people that don't have anything, or whatever
Exactly. Shout
resources
out
they were
to
able to
you
give. So like
guys.
straight up, I just want to shout out
Honestly.
all those people that just made a
Exactly.
difference and did something out there. So definitely want to give our
Yes.
shouts out
Shout
and our
out,
thanks
kudos.
to the
We definitely appreciate everything that happened through the pandemic, the people who made everything afloat, and what we were able to learn and gain, and all of that through the pandemic in whole.
Yeah.
I'll definitely just. I feel like we can go on from here. That was pretty much all I feel like we had to discuss about, the pandemic and what it brought and what it has brought
Oh
and
yeah,
what's
yeah,
going
yeah.
on.
But just
Just
yeah.
moving, right
Yeah,
along
yeah,
to
yeah, 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 yeah.
just moving right along to what's been happening in the media altogether.
Mhm.
I know it's one thing that I did want to kind of talk about a little bit too. I know this happened a few weeks ago, but I will talk about. I will bring up what I should say about what happened with the baby. Ti and Lil Boosie,
Mhm.
and Lil Nas X, who was kind of dragged in that subject, which he had nothing to do with. Honestly, I don't even like to associate his name with that whole thing, because he really had nothing to do with it. He was just kind of drug in there as a pawn. But I will say this. I understand, black culture very well. I do understand hip hop culture. I do understand that there are things at times that are said that's outlandish. Of course, hip hop is known from talking about, anything from drugs, hoes, fuck this, that. I do understand that. I do understand. I'm not oblivious to that. But what I do want, you know, um, us to understand, and I'm speaking to us because our culture is hip hop, that even though we don't agree with something, we don't have to bash it.
Mhm.
And I'm just not even talking about the LG, because every time I talk about this subject, the first thing people jump to is the LGBTQ community. No, not just that alone. Just the whole comment and statement that he stated, being very uneducated about HIV and AIDS awareness alone. He called people that had that like nasty and dirty and
Right.
trifling and all of that, when there could be serious circumstances that caused that, or that was behind that could have
Outside of
happened
sexual
outside of sexual. They could have
reasons,
been
yeah.
born with it. They
Right.
could have been raped. They could have been with actual in a monogamous relationship with their actual partner, and somebody decided to cheat, and that happened. Like, they're just because that happens to you don't make you dirty, and it doesn't matter what STD it is. It doesn't make you dirty. It doesn't make you nasty. It doesn't make you trifling. We have to be aware and educated before we start opening our mouths about certain things, or whatever. So that, along with the LGBTQ, like I said, you don't have to agree with it. You don't have to agree with what they're doing. You don't have to. It's not something you have to put a shine to. It's not something that you have to like overly scream for the rooftop. You don't have to march for it. You don't have to do anything, but also be aware that we all have choices in life. And if we say that we are free and we have freedom, then how are we upset because somebody decides to do something with their life? This is your choice. Be you, be merry, be happy. I love, happiness, all of that. I don't care what you do in your bedroom. Just don't care what I do in mine.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like with that, it was more so of the context of I don't think he understood the depth of what he said.
No, not at all.
And it's like, of course, have your opinion all day. You're entitled to that. But understand where you went wrong in your opinion sometimes and what it is that you stated or what you said.
Right.
Because even in that, it's not that you can't say what you want to say. It's that what you said, you didn't say it in the right context. The fact that you actually, that was the only part that I definitely had an issue with, because it was like, how dare you just sit up here and say that somebody that has HIV or AIDS or whatever, they're just disgusting, when you can't put that in one category. Or if you're going to say it, be specific in your details. You know what I mean? It's like, you can't just sit up here and say nobody's disgusting with having that.
I'm one of the people that says, and I'm going to scream it from the rooftop, if you're not educated on it, don't talk about it. Period. That's how I feel. I don't feel like you should get up here and talk about something. Obviously, you got up there very uneducated, and you start talking about it, and you start looking stupid. That's what happens. And then everybody is dropping off, and you're losing all these endorsements. But that happens when you're uneducated about something and you're talking about it. Mm-hmm. You know, I think as a people, like, when we realize that we need to educate ourselves, and I'm not talking about, oh, go sit in the classroom or go to college or go do this. I'm talking about self-education. That's the best knowledge that you're ever going to get in life. When you get to the point where you're educating yourself, it's hard for you to make stupid comments like that. Mm-hmm. That was just distasteful and stupid. The whole comment, it was unnecessary. There was different ways that we could hype a crowd up and say certain things that's okay and that's acceptable. I don't, and it's crazy because I'm not biased on anything. I'm gonna say this, whether it's this subject or whatever, I don't give a damn how nobody feel about it, and I'm gonna say it whether it was something else talking about something that was discriminatory. I don't care. My stance is, I stand for what's right, all the way around. I don't care if you agree with it. I don't care if I agree with it. I don't care what it is. I stand for what's right, and I will not waver on that. So that was my whole thought about it. And then also, I don't think that the baby could not have came back from that. He could have easily came back from that. Mm-hmm. What messed him up was, here goes T.I. little bitty dread having ass, had to give his 1.1% in it, where, sir, how do we even get to Lil Nas X? We wasn't even talking about him. Is he the poster boy for everybody gay? And then on top of it, like, you know what I'm saying? You got shit going on yourself right now. You jumping in his shit where the main focal point of his shit wasn't even just the it wasn't the LGBT. It was just being distasteful, period, especially with the HIV and awareness and community and all of that. So, yeah, educate him. Don't jump on here like, oh, well, he can do this, he can do this. No, shut your ass up. Him and Lil Boosie, badass, if you don't shut your raping ass up, because I'm going to never forgive you for saying I paid a prostitute to fuck my son and suck his dick. Sir, that's a rape. Like, I don't give a fuck who try to justify that shit. That's rape, that's nasty, that's trifling. You took his manhood away. He probably gonna have to go through therapy. He probably gonna be the ones out here emotionally unequipped and unavailable black man because of what the fuck you did. And that's why I'm trying to keep my daughter away from, to recognize that shit, because we don't understand as parents. We push certain spirits and energies in our kids when we do stupid shit. Mm-hmm. So I need you not to even jump in shit. I need you to go get it right. I need you to tell me you was at Iyanla and you asked your motherfucking son for forgiveness. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the only thing you can say to me. Otherwise, shut your ass up. Mm-hmm. Like, y'all made the situation worse. And that's why I feel like he lost so many endorsements, because he was double downing on shit because of his counterparts. He's young. The baby gonna make mistakes. The baby is what, 22, 23? That's to be expected. Like, he's a baby in the game. I get it. I understand it. That was an educational moment. My whole thing was educate him. Like I said from the beginning, Don't talk about shit you ain't educated on. Somebody could have easily educated him, and it would have blew over. But then you got the pillars. You got the older men in hip hop coming in and just sounding just as dumb and uneducated. And it's just like, y'all making it worse for him. Y'all don't understand. Y'all got y'all shit. Y'all been in the game for a minute. So y'all done secured with y'all secured. Like, you fucking up his bags. Like, he got kids. Shit, he just had one by Yellowbone. So, like, we got to realize, like, educate him and just let him know, like, hey, you know, maybe this could have been said this way, and, you know, and let it be. It would have flew the fuck over, and we wouldn't even had a conversation about it.
There's a way.
But
it is. It's always a way. Like, at that moment, it's not, you know, especially with us. Stop always trying to correct and, like you said, educate.
Yeah, that's the whole biggest thing. Like, I don't believe in
people are so quick to
chastisement.
just
Like, you can't chastise me.
Like,
but I believe in being educated. I believe in, like, if I'm lacking, educate me.
and there's a way you do
room
that
for education.
It is, and there's a way that I know for sure there's a way, and you know when it's really coming from a place like that. Stop trying to always come to defense and correct.
Exactly.
And just educate. It's okay to do that.
educate.
It's okay to do that. It's okay.
And understand, we all have flaws. We all fuck
But
up.
that's the thing,
We
too,
all do shit that we're not proud of.
Sometimes a lot. Sometimes even when you're saying your opinion or you're stating something, you don't realize, and you probably don't even be in the know of knowing that you're not educated.
Exactly.
Because you feel so strongly about what you feel. Nobody can tell you any differently until it's actually brought to you.
Until it's brought to your attention.
You know, and so sometimes I've learned to not be so quick to be like, oh, you're uneducated.
Right.
Or you don't know what you're talking about. Because at that moment, I have to understand that sometimes people just really don't know.
Right.
And they don't know the stance of where their
context. If somebody come to you and
context.
say
And
you're
then,
uneducated, that's just sarcasm.
yeah, it is.
That's not how you educate anybody.
It's really not.
Like, when I
It's
say
really
educate
not.
someone, it has nothing to do with coming up to them like, well, you uneducated. You was like, no, that's
Yeah.
sarcasm, that's shade, that's everything. But yeah, you can be educated. And if you are uneducated about something, somebody come here, let me talk to you real quick. You know, sit down, spit some games to you real quick. You know what I'm saying? That's it, and that's all. Just like I'll take it to, like, hip hop. I remember when J. Cole dropped that single and was like, you know, well, no, it was on his album. I Can't Believe I Let Nas Down. Like, that's one of my favorite J. Cole songs, and I don't think people understand why. Like, having an idol and having somebody that you look up to, and that, like, they kind of pave the way for, like, what you're trying to do, and to even think for 1 second that, like, you let them down in any type of way, that's, like, so disheartening. That's so
Yeah, I
heartbreaking.
know.
So, like, you can tell he poured his heart out in there. Like, I can't believe, like, I let my motherfucking idol down. Like, do you know who Nas is? Like, nigga, Nas is Jesus. Like, you know, I can't believe I did that shit. And when Nas came back, what Nas say? He came back with an actual song. It was like, nah, Young King, you ain't let me down. Like, period. That's how you educate. When I say education, that's what I mean. Like, he educated, like, he corrected him. He corrected him in the positive way. He didn't get on there talking shit or coming for him. He could have came for him for that fucked up ass song J. Cole put out. But I'm saying he didn't, you know what I'm saying? He's just basically like, you know, like, nah, Young King, it ain't even nothing like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You good. Like, you got the game. You know, he uplifted him in every single way, but educating him about it. That's what I mean when I say educate. You don't have to be sarcastic. You don't have to be like, oh, well, let me sit down, let me educate you about that. No, it's a way, and it's a proper way for you to educate somebody in any situation, not just this one. Any situation when someone is speaking of something, and
Yeah.
every time an educational moment happens, it's not necessarily that someone is speaking like just outlandish and stupid. This was just a really crazy outlandish one.
Yeah, it was. It's just
But,
one
yeah,
of
it
those
could be
ones that's just
sometimes
crazy.
where it could
It's
be
different
mild.
levels to it. It really
It
is.
is,
It is
yeah.
because a lot of times, especially when in situations outside of that too, I just feel like our culture is so on the defense and ready to correct, and they don't understand what the difference is when it comes to truly educating versus
Right.
you know, or just really trying to be like, let me check you.
Exactly.
Because we're quick to do that in an instance versus just gracefully educating
Exactly.
somebody. There's a way you
Exactly.
actually do
It
that.
definitely is.
You know, and
Yep.
it comes with wisdom. It comes with learning. And I think, like you were talking about with our pillars, with the people that are up there, we look up to you.
Exactly.
You're the ones where when we wrong, it's like, honestly, deep down, it's like if something's going on, we expect it.
Exactly.
We expect it, and it's like it. Because if you ain't able to just get that in line or check us or wherever, we gonna always feel like, well, I feel like OG ain't come down and let me know, so I must be on the right path.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean? And it's like, when you do something in a certain way, and not saying that they're perfect or that they have it all,
right?
But it does matter.
It matters.
It matters, and it's like,
because it's a respect.
It
thing.
really is a respect.
It's
thing.
like I respect you.
Yeah.
So if you come to me, you know what I'm saying, in a way, and like, okay, let me educate you because I respect you.
Yeah.
I'm going to listen, like, you know what I'm saying. But like, if I don't. I have raw respect for you. We don't, kick it like that. And you trying to be on some sarcastic shit, like, get the fuck out my face. You know what I'm saying? But, like, yeah, I can take it, take it. And I think that's the thing with our culture. We just need to, and no, the baby is not counseled. Like, you know what I'm saying? Counsel culture. Now, there are some things that I feel like, because I know, well, this will just get us in the next topic real quick. Council culture. Like, I know people like council culture or whatever. Now, there are some people or some things that I feel like it's unforgivable. That, like, you remain fucking counsel if you do it. But I do feel like everybody throw the council word out there is so fucking
it's trendy
when it comes to, but it's only trendy in our culture.
Yeah.
Because when you look out other cultures, they don't do that shit.
They don't.
Like, ain't nobody counseled the motherfucking Kardashians yet.
Baby, and black people just, we number one in doing a lot of shit that we don't need to be doing.
Exactly.
And that's
like,
actually one of them. Cancel culture.
We
just
need to
all kind of
stop
crazy
throwing
stuff.
that word out there because or throwing that out there because there's times where there's education and wisdom and we fuck up. We human. We make mistakes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and then we have to realize too the day and era that we're living in. I remember when what the baby said on the stage in an era where that would have been okay if he was at a comedy show or something like that, and he could say what the fuck he wanted to say. You see how they got Kevin Hart like apologizing for something he said when he first came out. I'm not apologizing to no motherfucking body about shit I said 15 years ago. Period. I double down on that shit. Like, unless there's something that I like did or said personally that's fucked up, you go pull back Twitter, MySpace, Facebook. I don't give a fuck what you pull back.
You know what?
I'm double downing on anything that I fucking said.
Yeah, I agree too. I'm gonna say this. Unless I truly feel like God has led me to say sorry for something, I'm not saying
exactly.
I'm not gonna do it because my thing is this:
fucked up, and I don't do fucked up shit.
Exactly.
So
my thing is this: at the end of the day, I ain't political. I'm an individual,
and I'm
gonna have my own individual human right to
shit.
Give
I
my
be looking
opinion.
at memories on Facebook like, oh, I ain't saying or sharing this shit.
You
like,
right.
oh, this is some ignorant ass shit. Who said that? Look, who said that?
You got me messed the
like,
hell
oh, who the
up.
fuck was this bitch?
Okay.
Or who the fuck was this nigga? Oh, no, I ain't sharing them. What the fuck? Oh, no. Like, there's just some things that will not enter in my now life.
Yeah.
That was okay and acceptable
Exactly.
like 15 years ago when I was younger and popping my shit and all of that. But, like,
it's
as you
growth,
grow
people.
and evolve,
It's
period.
growth.
Can the word of the night be growth?
It can be whatever we want it to be, and I feel like
growth.
we can definitely
like,
make it that.
It's evolving and growing and understanding that growth does happen. I'm gonna throw out a couple shameless plugs, before break time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say shout out to the motherfucking Lakers. Shout out to the motherfucking Lakers.
Oh, no, not finna get into
you
that.
know what I'm saying? I'm gonna briefly touch on, they got Brody, my second favorite player. Hey.
Lord.
We gonna fire the producers tonight. My second favorite player in the fucking, he is so slept on. I cannot wait till people see Brody the way that I see him. I swear he's so slept on. Y'all can say Kevin Durant all day long. I can't stand his emotional crybaby ass.
Yeah.
But like, shout out to Brody. Brody gonna bring a lot to the Lakers. I heard y'all talking about their old team and all of that. First of all, sometimes look at who on their team though. Like, so first off, I don't know who the fuck got Melo and why the fuck y'all got Melo. Because y'all see he ain't do shit. So y'all could have kept him where the fuck he was. But that's neither here nor there. But like, I think they're underestimating what they're going to be able to do because even though that they're veterans in the game, all of these motherfuckers are like at 100% playing. Like, LeBron has been playing in the league for like 15 motherfucking years, and he like a man of steel. He out there still killing and dominating still in anybody's top motherfucking, and if you say it's your line, still in anybody's top motherfucking 5 players that's playing right the fuck now. And he's the oldest motherfucker on the court, probably the oldest one on that list. Just because he can still go out there and give it. So, yeah, shout out to the motherfucking Lakers.
Well, there
Period. I just had to throw that in there. You know what I'm saying?
Because I feel like you were real passionate about that.
I was. I felt so good. I danced all night. Like, I was like half fucking sleep when I found out the deal was actually inked. Man, I got up. I was like, oh my. Look. This was just like, I've always wanted to see them play together. So for me, this is like my, I always want to see Dwayne Wade and LeBron play together before they played together. I knew how close of friends they were.
Yeah.
And I knew how they played in like USA games and stuff like that. So I was super excited when they came together in Miami.
Yeah.
So for me, this is like Miami 2.0 in LA.
Snap.
So I'm super excited for the season.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to see what they're bringing. I know it's going to be super, super good. I don't fuck what y'all say about no super teams either, because let's not even talk about how motherfucking stacked Golden State Warrior was for forever. We're not even going. They motherfucking they bench was stacked. Like, they couldn't even use their players. So, you know, shout out to the motherfucking Lakers.
Well, I see that that's another little topic that Miss Viv had a very, very passionate moment about her team. Because, baby, when I say she is team LeBron James, honey, she is.
You know, we got our producers back there saying, wrap it up. Wrap it up then. You know what I'm saying?
What we talking about wrapping up? Are we talking about safety, wrapping them balls up? Or, like, what are we talking about?
I thought we were the star of the show. The show is Eve.
But, you know, guys, we got another segment with you guys tonight. We're going to go ahead and take a break. And we're going to be back with y'all to talk about either some fun shit, some freaky shit, or some we don't know shit.
We gonna go how we go. And it's going to be how it's be. So, you know, get back for a little bit. We'll be back with you guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Eve Show. Quick break.
Awesomeness, if I will say so myself.
Yeah, it's gonna take you on a roller coaster a little bit. You know, never know. But it's gonna be good always.
Baby, roller coaster is a thrill. So, baby, you're gonna be left, right, upside down to the back, all those kinds of things.
But it's gonna be good though. I mean, it's always good. So, you know, let me just give a moment to shout out to our sponsors. Yes. Definitely shout out to 80 Souls. Go look up 80 Souls. 80 Souls is an all-around company. We have podcasts on there. We have more to come. We have future water lines, just everything. Look out for 80 Souls. So definitely go look it up. We're on all of the social media websites. So go look it up on Instagram. Go look it up on Facebook. This is actually an 80 Souls production. So shout out to 80 Souls.
Yes.
Also,
indeed.
tune in to Pseudo Baker. Pseudo Baker and Chill. Let me tell y'all, you will never go wrong with Pseudo Baker for your cable needs. Everything you can think of possibly, every show, every channel, every nasty, freaky after dark channel, all of the good stuff is on Pseudo Baker. You can also put a code on there to lock it for your kids. It's cutting the cables, cutting the cords. You know, it's half of the price of cable, but as long as you got Wi-Fi, it is good to go. So
It
shout out to
is.
Pseudo Baker.
And if I might add, just
Add,
to,
girl,
just
add.
to add that little whipped cream on top of that
Add it,
sundae
girl.
that you know you need.
Just add the topping.
With pseudo baker, it's the variety for me though.
Period.
Let me tell you, it's the convenience and the variety. It's the fact that I can
Period.
watch it when I want. Then I can watch what I want, however I want.
And from your phones and all of that too.
That's
So,
all I'm saying. So
you
let me
know,
tell you, for real, this ain't just on no promotional stuff. I actually am a customer. You know this. You can vouch for
Exactly.
this. My whole house live off, like, we can't not have it. Like, my whole family honestly basically has it. Like, this is a dope. I honestly, just from personal experience and as a personal customer, y'all get it. It's one of the
it
best
is
things ever
definitely-
invented.
We will not let you down.
At
Trust
all.
me. Definitely go grab the Pseudo Baker. Definitely it's a month by month, no contract. So if you don't like it the first month, then you don't have
It's
you don't
it's
have
up to you.
you don't have to get it anymore
all.
after that. You know, it's definitely up to you. It's prepaid services.
Yeah.
So, you know, just
I had to just add my little bit because that's just how much I like the service. So I just
definitely
had
we
to just
always
add
like
a
the
little
true
extra.
testimonials
Oh,
of it.
yeah.
There's never anything we're gonna let you guys get or even recommend for you guys to get that we haven't tried out ourselves. Like, you know, there's nothing that I'm going to be biased
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Anything that I recommend is something that I've tried knowingly and willingly.
Oh, I'm that person.
myself,
Like, I'm not just gonna
unless
be.
I say, well, my sister tried this and this is good, or
Yeah.
you know, or my friend tried this. Like, unless I say that, if I say, well, try this because if I say because
it's from personal
it's
experience.
because I've tried it. So we will definitely not, you know, steer you guys wrong.
No.
And thanks for giving us your Friday evening as we tune in to the Eve show.
Yes, and
So we're back. So let's get into some fun stuff.
Oh, girl.
Or, you know, we were talking on the break about taking trips solo.
So yeah, I definitely am into that alone quality time, just having that
Right.
time for yourself. And then I also, because I have not,
Self-care, guys.
yeah, self-care is wonderful, but I've never had a chance to really just get out there to like travel alone.
Mhm.
I've gotten away alone, but I've never really like traveled alone. And it's something that I believe that I know that I want to try. It's just that there's just a little bit of safety for me because it's just like I want to enjoy it, but you also have to be cautious. Like, I'm such a
Of
somewhat
course.
cautious person, so that's
you
one of the reasons
always
why.
have
but
to be cautious in
You know,
everything.
yeah,
Even going
but-
out with a crowd or with two,
Yeah.
you know, safety is definitely important. It definitely comes first. It's always been like a dream of mine or on my bucket list to travel. Like, I want to, or travel solo. Like, I want to do it all.
Yeah.
I want to have the experience. No, I don't want to do it all the time. It's just like I want a one and doneer. I want to be able to just like, okay, let me get on a plane. Let me go this place for 2 or 3 days. I'm an agenda girl. So anytime I go out of town, I have an agenda and an itinerary. Yes, I am that person. Yes, my whole trip will be planned. And I want to go and I want to explore somewhere and, you know, like by myself and just be able to do what I want to do on my time.
And there's nothing wrong with
That's
that.
like my
Nothing.
biggest
Nothing.
thing that I want to do, that I will muster up enough strength to do.
And I will say,
I definitely don't have a lot of experience in. Well, when I was single, I did a lot of me time and getting away by myself personally. But like after that, like, no, like my husband does not like. I was in the hospital for one day. Y'all would have thought to Jesus that I was in the hospital for 5 years. I promise you would have. I was, oh my God, baby, I missed you so much. Sorry, I wasn't even in there 24 hours. I promise you I wasn't. Like, it's like, you know, I adore that at times, but at times when you're raising a family, you have little kids, you like, I just want to be away just for a night. Let me just pack a bag, go to a hotel and just spend the day with myself.
That's another reason why I also want to just say how wonderful I think self time is, because
Definitely wonderful.
especially if you are a wife and a mom, before any of that, you were you.
Exactly.
You were you.
Period.
You were your individual self.
That is facts.
You know, so at the end of the day, I feel that you do not have to feel like that you have to lose yourself.
Right.
And you're gonna still be that wonderful mom, that wonderful wife, that wonderful
Exactly.
whoever you are to
Take
your family or whatever
that
you're
time
doing.
out for
But you have to be able to, like, this is it is somewhat of a cliche where people say self love, like love yourself and do all that. That is really, really true. Like,
it is.
take
You
care
can't love
of yourself.
anybody
You
else until
cannot
love you.
And my thing is this, just also from personal experience, I felt like I've been there. I felt like where I prioritized myself last and made everything
Facts.
else up here. And I always wonder why I never felt fulfilled.
Yes,
Even
think
in those
every
roles,
mom
like,
or has experienced that.
And so I feel like at that moment when I shifted and prioritized myself at the top, then everything
Exactly.
else followed. I start to see a difference in how even I was available and how I was able to even help those around me, because I did it
Exactly.
in a different way. It's like when I actually put myself last,
Mm-hmm.
then I didn't feel appreciated. I did not feel like those around me did really cared about how much I put into a lot of this stuff.
Right.
But there was nobody to blame but myself.
Right.
You know, and then I had to take accountability for that. You know, so then prioritized it and was like, look, Ebony girl, you up here, you matter. Like, go do your thing. What you
gotta
need to
love
do.
you first. You can't
And
love nobody else.
I start to see a
loving
shift, girl. A shift
Yes.
happened, honey. And it happened in myself to the point where then, like, I start to even be able to be a better woman to everybody around me.
That
you
is
know what I
so
mean? And I just wanted to
important.
say that and share that, because I feel that I know if any other woman feels like that, because I felt like that, you know.
Yes,
And
and that's very important. That's a very important subject, because also I want women to understand, because I know there are single mothers and stuff out there. Like, self-care and taking care of yourself don't look like, I know you can maybe say like, oh, I can't afford to take a night and go to a hotel by myself without my kid. You know, you don't even have to do that. Let me tell you, like, for me, self-care is, I don't necessarily take nights or anything away from home, but I still give self-care and Vivian in there, because I'll take a day off work, by myself, kids at school,
Yep.
husband's gone at
Yeah.
work, and I will do everything that Vivian wants to do, from her nails. I don't care if I want to sit there and binge watch a series. I don't care if I want to eat bucket ball naked. I don't care what it is that I want to do. I'm going to do that. And I actually do that often. That's what my self-care look like. I think it's important for us to realize that everybody's journey and everybody's everything is going to be different. So even if you can't, like, take time and just be like, okay, let me pamper myself and all of that, like, self-care is just taking care of you in any type of way that you can. You got to get it in where you fit it in. So
Man.
if you have children and you're a single mom, shout out to the single mom, shout out to the single dads, and you can't get away for a whole night, you don't have a babysitter or anything like that, just take a couple hours in the daytime. Take a couple hours while they at school. Get off work early. Leave work early and be like, oh, I'm going to go catch that matinee that I wanted to catch. You know, get off work early and be like, oh, I just want to go get my nails done by myself. Get off early, like, let me treat myself. Let me go eat this, or let me go watch this. Do what you have to do for you.
Yes,
and
indeed.
make it work for you. You don't have to do it the way everybody else
It
do
ain't
it.
selfish.
It is
Don't
still,
think you're
y'all,
selfish.
self-care. It is definitely important to prioritize yourself, because especially when you have a family,
Yeah.
even goal-oriented people, period, because I know a lot of single people who don't have kids, who don't have a spouse, who is so wrapped up into reaching their goals,
Right.
that
They
they don't
forget about
take time
them.
for self.
Yeah.
And that's important. Like, no matter it don't just have to be a parent. This
Right.
happen in everyday life with everybody. So don't forget to take time out for you. Let's just go back to our topic, or our subject was growth. So don't forget to take time for you. Don't forget to love on you. Don't forget to realize that if your battery is empty, you can't charge up anybody else's battery.
Yeah.
So always be mindful to kind of keep your battery on full by taking care of yourself, whatever that looks like. Even if that looks like having a glass of wine by
Yes.
yourself, you know,
Yes.
at night, whether
Yes.
that looks like going out and just enjoying the town, whatever that looks like for you, don't forget Don't be so engrossed in your goals or in what's going on that you don't take time for you. So
Yes, indeed,
definitely
sister.
take out time for yourself. And that goes for anybody, men, women,
That-
children, anytime.
Anybody
My
that's a
daughter will
human
be
being.
the first one to tell you boldly and proudly.
Oh my God, you are so right.
Without even a second blink, I need some me time. I need to meditate. She has been saying that since she's been 2 years old and don't give a fuck how you feel about it.
Come on, honey.
And she gonna go in somewhere and lock herself in the motherfucking room and have her alone time. And it's crazy because I've learned so much watching her being so boldly about taking care of herself that it actually made me so much open
Ain't that a
about
funny
taking care of
thing?
myself.
Ain't that a funny thing
Yeah.
when our kids can teach us
My
some
kids
stuff?
have taught me a lot.
Girl.
I've learned a lot from my children. Just even outside of them educating me on the things and stuff that they like, just about just natural. They're different personalities.
Yeah.
So like what comes natural to them, and like my oldest, he stands on what he stands on. Period. Like he 10 toes down and he don't give a fuck. And I'm just like, just stay that way. He like, look, this is what I believe in, and this is what I say, and this is what I believe in. So he stands 10 toes down. And he don't care about anything, and don't care how you feel about it. It's his opinion. That's what he want to do. That's what he do. I always tell them, there's no followers. You're all leaders. And if you're in a group where somebody feel like they have to follow somebody, then you in the wrong group. Nothing wrong with being in a whole bunch of group of leaders, because then you can educate each other and learn from each other. But
There
you
it
don't
is.
follow nobody. Only person you follow is God and me, because I'm going to lead you right the whole time. But it's neither here nor there.
Until I can't lead you anymore,
Exactly. Once I lead you into
God needs
adulthood,
to be the head.
you know, like I'm always there. But
Right.
I like the fact when you have, I remember being a kid. Oh my God. And I remember being like, growing up in a black household, you guys, I have to relate that back. Like a lot of things that we were taught, you know, wrongly, of course. Like I remember being that kid that was like 10 toes down on what I believed in and would not waver and knew I was right and would be like, and come with all the facts. Oh, I always did, baby. I will educate you as my mama. I'd be like, cause before I speak on it, trust me, I done researched it. So I will come with all the facts and like still will get in trouble. Cause like, oh, that's called being disrespectful, and that's called like mouthing back, or the famous one. I used to hate this. Oh, well, you saying such and such lying, but they are lying. I didn't say they were lying, but I mean, technically
That's what's
they
going
are
on out here.
lying, but you couldn't. I came from an era where you couldn't call adults liars.
We
Like
all.
whether they were liars or not, you just could not say
Baby,
that.
if you was born in the 80s or before, baby, you couldn't say that. And I'm almost say even the 90s kids.
Yeah,
too,
even
but
the
like,
90s kids, you
could
couldn't
not
say that. You would get your whole motherfucking head chopped off.
That was one thing you didn't say. I know for me, when I was a child, I did that a little bit. I didn't say it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I did realize a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So what I did do was say when I got older, I was like, I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that differently. I don't think I'm gonna roll like that. It's like I
I'ma tell
realized
you,
a lot.
I say this all the time, and I know I get crucified for my mom. I love my mom. My mom did an amazing job. And all of the women that were surrounded by me and helped raising me, like I would never like condemn them for what they did.
Yeah.
But I also say all the time too is they taught us based on the education that they had.
Of course.
So of course I never like, yeah, y'all did good, you know, kudos. But I learned a lot of what not to do.
That's
So
it.
with that being said, like I always, you know, everybody in my family kind of knows a difference of how I treat my kids or how I talk to my kids or all of that, and be like, you know, you hear the little naysayers or the little whispers like, oh, well, you know, they think their kids are this and they think their kids are that, or they don't do this, or I'm not the parent that every time somebody do something wrong, I got to go and slap them. That goes back to what I was saying about the baby. Like there's a way that you can educate someone without crucifying them or chastising them in a way. So, you know, my first, second, third, or fourth response to my children isn't to hit them. They're human. So they understand conversation. I can sit down there. Actually, I done had better conversation with my kids than I done had with half of the fucking adults that I know.
Okay.
Which is the sad part. Like they understand and will sit there and have a very educated conversation back, you know, like quicker than an adult. So like they get it. They understand what's expected of them. I let them know that. And, we go from there. And if it's something consistently, I've never came up, to a situation where it's a constant thing that I've had to correct them. But if it gets there, then the punishment will be, whatever I feel like it should be at that time. But it's just not, I just feel like it's the slavery mentality for the first thing to do for you to feel like you have power and dominion over somebody is to hit them, to whip them in shape. That's slavery shit. That was taught back in slavery. Like, oh, well, you did this, they're human and they gonna fuck up. We fuck up. Like, of course they gonna mess up their kids. They don't know no better. So sit there, correct them, educate them, and let's move on. Now, you keep on fucking up, you know what I'm saying? Then, maybe the punishment gets stern and it gets hard. And it may get to that point. But that's not just the first thing that I've ever thought about, like, doing or even, like, no, I don't think that that's the way. Because the thing is, I feel like they shut down the more that you do. I know a lot of badass kids and that mama beat the shit out of them. I'm gonna say that. A lot of badass kids that they mama beat the shit out of them, don't talk to them, and it actually makes it worse, believe it or not. In my study, like I studied this in my psychology class and did a paper on this. Like, believe it or the fuck not, like if you look at like badass kids, they mama be beating the shit out of them. Like literally whooping them, like popping them for everything, whooping them for everything, and they're still because it's not solving the problem, because you're not telling them and not correcting them on what they did wrong. Like you okay, you just nobody's listening to you. We can't function that way.
What did you do besides hit them?
Exactly. And then if you yelling and cursing at them, I was just out with my children the other day, and I bullshit you not. I was so I get secondhand embarrassment that my husband be like, they ain't got shit to do with you. You don't even know these people. I get it so much. I was out and we were there, and it was very diverse crowd there, and the baby has to be like 3 at the most. And when I say she had told the little baby, like, it's time to go, he was like, okay, one more minute. She was like, it's time to go. He like, 1 minute. She was like, get your motherfucking ass over here before I pop you on your motherfucking ass. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, baby girl. He is a baby. Just go over there and say, it's time to go. Put on your stuff and guide him where he needs to go. She cussed him out like he was my age. Like, I was just like, oh no. See, we don't talk to our children that way, because when we do, they shut down. They don't listen. Like, and it didn't do anything.
I don't think they know how to grasp stuff like that.
He shut down. You know what the fuck he did? He started screaming and crying and laying the fuck out. Like, he shuts down. Then you have to go over there and snatch him up, making a motherfucking scene. Like, that's not necessary. Like, it's ways for us to do things. And I just feel like some of the ways are, it's just outlandish with the hitting and all of that. Let's communicate a little better.
But growth, right? See, that's growth.
But growth.
And that's what we're talking about tonight. Like, a lot of growth and where it is.
When you know better, you do better.
Honey,
and I'm not judging anybody's parenting style. I say that all day long. I can't tell you what to do in your household because I know what I do in mine. And you can't tell me what to do in mine.
I mean, but I feel like that is the best thing, though.
I can definitely throw out some pointers. I would never tell anybody, like, you need to do this or you need to do that. I have even people in my family. Like, you probably attest to this. People in your family that have children your age. You guys are probably 2 totally different parents. Like, I have people that I'm like 2 totally different parents, but like, I really feel like I'm like a modern day parent. I really am. Like, I'm that parent that talks through everything.
I'm so that parent. Like, I'm sorry.
I think that's our generation,
it gotta be, because one thing I will tell you, and my son could vouch for it, and he will tell you that my mama talked to me. Like, I am that. I'm talking about even down to like I remember one conversation where I was getting on him about something. And he was just so upset. He was so upset. And so after I told him, this is what's going on. This is why mommy is telling you this is what you need to do. I gave him all of it and what he needed to know.
Exactly.
So after that, I said, now why are you mad? I asked him. I said, why you mad? And he's like, nothing. I said, we never gonna start that. What you are gonna do is be honest about your feelings.
Exactly.
I said, because what I'm here to do as your parent, I don't want you to feel like you're not entitled to your feelings.
Exactly, and that
you're
I don't
entitled
care
to your feelings.
Because I do. Exactly.
And what I want to do is, once you express them, I want to let you know what we gonna do about that?
Exactly.
And why I can understand why you feel like that, but understand why I'm coming at you. You know, it's just the
and they
depth of it.
understand that
They
though.
really do. And one thing I can say is, because I even asked myself, like one time, you know how boys are when they're growing and they get into those teenager. And I'm sitting here like, why do I have to constantly tell you to clean your room? Like, I'm tired of telling you that.
Baby.
And his answer to me was, he said, you know what, mama? Honestly, I said, no, I'm asking, why do I have to?
Right.
And he said, you know what, mama? Honestly, I don't know. He was like, mama, I don't know. I'm being lazy. He's like, you're right. Like, he's like, because I said, I honestly want to answer. I'm not yelling at you. I'm not screaming. I'm not doing. I'm not even trying to hit you. I really want to know where your mind is right now. Like, what's going on? But I said, because one thing about it is, I said, I'm giving you an example. I said, anytime you ask me to do anything, and I'm that mama that when my son asks me, okay, mama, can you fix me some French toast? Guess what I'm doing? Not only am I gonna fix him some French toast, but baby, it's gonna be a whole bunch of cinnamon, vanilla. It's gonna be some powdered sugar, some whipped cream on top of that, some strawberries around. I'm that type of. So like, I'm gonna give you this. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Now, I'm saying that only to say this. When you ask me for something, not only do I do it, I just kind of go a little bit above and beyond. Now, that is a choice of mine, of course, but guess what? Outside of the going above and beyond, I did it.
Exactly.
I did it for you. Anytime I'm available to you for those things, not only what you need, but those wants. Let's talk about that. What I'm telling you is a need and what you need to do just also for cleansing purposes, hygiene purposes, all those things. I'm telling you all these things.
Exactly.
You
and
know,
that's something
so
you gotta reiterate.
You do, and I'm breaking all this stuff down to him, and he's just sitting here like. So after that, I said, I don't want to keep talking to you about this. I don't want to have to keep reminding you about this. I don't want to keep doing it. I said, because here's the thing. We have levels to it. And I'm like, now when I got involved, daddy,
exactly.
I'm trying because at that moment when I got to go up levels and do whatever I need, I know you ain't going to like that.
You ain't going to like it.
So it's like.
So let's work it out between us.
Let's work it out between us. You know what I mean? And he's like, you know what? So what I did start to see was he's like, Mama, I got up. I did what I was supposed to do, and it started to become consistent. Now, of course, he gonna laugh sometimes. I get all that, but they
want to make you happy.
Want to do that,
so they want to like show you that they did those things. Like having them clean up and stuff like that. That's a constant thing that I have to remind and talk to my children about. Also about just like this is your area.
Yeah,
you did this. So clean it up. Like, do you want to live and feel?
And you ever notice that they like to come into your stuff or do so? It's like you want to know why? Because of this.
Exactly.
If you do that, then you will enjoy your stuff too.
Outcome.
So it's like it's bringing understanding to their level all at the same time. That's what I do. I don't go above where he's not understanding, or I'm not trying to make him be an adult at a young age, or I'm not trying to do certain things just be like my baby do this because he's with you.
Exactly.
I'm trying to talk to you at the level of understanding that I know that you got.
Exactly.
Because if you, I ain't trying to put my it made me laugh because I know you texted it. Well, now I texted you, put this on Facebook not too long ago. Baby, I'm not going to lie. I died when I saw that my nephew ordered this IHOP on this. Baby, when I say he ordered his breakfast, it's like these kids know how to know.
Me and my husband was in the bed. My husband hadn't even got up for work yet.
Oh, my God.
And we are like, who the hell is ringing our doorbell this early in the morning? Baby, when I say, and not only did he have them to deliver, I said, son, did you tip? Oh, y'all tips good. Oh, and he left a nice little generous tip for the person also. Then got him a whole meal and a drink, baby. I said, at 10 years old, I didn't even have the privilege of dialing Pizza Hut's number.
Honey.
Let alone order nothing and having a debit card.
Baby, you got a whole regiment, but you can't clean your room,
and you can't clean your room.
No,
that's why I'm just like, the privilege. But we talk to our children. Me and my husband talk to our kids all the time about privilege, the stuff that they think, like the stuff that they have, and like even being in a 2-parent household and a 2-income household. Like they look at that like the norm. They don't understand like that's privilege. So when we kind of tell them how we grew up and what our moms had to go through, struggling and all of that, to provide for us, they like, oh my God, like they look at it like like we was in hell or something. The way that we describe it to them, because they're privileged to live a different type of lifestyle. And I'm just like, look, let me tell you something. We work hard for this. At the end of the day, we tell our kids all day long, everything in this house is ours. Until you get grown enough and old enough to work and pay, everything is ours. So everything that you have is lent, from the drawers on your back, on your butt, to the socks on your feet, is mine.
Because that's really talk about it. Because if you walked out this door right now, what you gonna have?
Nothing but bald ass naked. You gonna come with your birthday suit. The same way you came in this world. You gonna come with your birthday suit.
I might lend you an outfit just to walk out here and not embarrass yourself.
You might get some tidy whities. That's about it. But like, it's important. Like, this is our stuff. We worked hard for this.
Yeah.
So I need you to understand that you need to respect it. Respecting it means cleaning up. Respecting it means knowing what we expect of you. And I think putting those expectations, I know with my middle son, putting those expectations out there.
Yeah.
Like I said, my 3 kids have 3 different personalities. So with the middle child, like, he's so hard on himself. So the moment that he feels like he's done something wrong, like, and even if he knows, like, oh, I ain't clean my room up, but the moment that I get on him and talk to him about it, he be so disappointed in himself. And he just be like, and it's because he like, okay, like, I upset you. And I'm like, I understand. Like, you know, we mess up. We get lazy sometimes. You know, sometimes we don't want to clean up our bed as soon as we get out of it. Or sometimes we don't want to clean up our room right away. You know, I fall in that too. But also, you know, I understand that I can't let this be a reoccurring thing. So if I give you grace one day, you can't not finna keep on letting, 2-3 days go by. You ain't cleaned your clothes. You ain't cleaned your room. You ain't washed your clothes. You ain't put your clothes up. Like, that's necessary for you to do. That's very necessary for you to do, because these are your things and you need to respect them and understand that, you have to upkeep your things, cleaning your room. And I will say, speaking on my middle child, my little baby, like, I will say one thing. I've been down. I had a minor surgery and I've been down, last week or so. Girl, my baby done got up, like, literally, I smell bacon. My baby done got up, cooked for him and his sister every day, from breakfast to lunch. Like, my son is low-key, he think he a chef, y'all. So I taught him a lot of stuff and a lot of how to cook a lot of stuff. But my baby been in there cooking. Like, ain't no cereal, nothing. Mama, stay in the bed. You want something, you need something, you want me to cook you something. Hey. But he been cooking like I'm talking about from grilled cheese to pancakes and eggs and bacon to to sandwiches, to everything. He's been making and cooking to make sure that him and his sister, my oldest one, oh baby, all you getting is some noodles. That's the hell it. You getting that at best.
And it's so funny because I know when I was my son's age, like, I'm sorry, I was cooking.
Yes.
I literally, like, I'm finna tell you something. I was 9 years old making me chocolate chip pancakes.
Look in that gourmet shit.
I'm not even gonna lie.
Like, that's because you a chef, low key. So y'all wasn't making chocolate chip shit. I was surviving.
Oh my God. Like, I was literally making chocolate. I'll never forget it. And I'm gonna tell you even another one. Girl, I wasn't even at home. Girl, I was in Seattle visiting my aunt in her kitchen, honey, by myself in the house for a minute. I was like, oh, I want some chocolate chip pancakes. Baby, I made my chocolate chip pancakes and I called, and of course it's like noodles. It's like, I knew how to do pancakes. I don't know. My son right now, baby, he barely even making them noodles, child.
Baby, welcome to the world of my 16-year-old. Honey, baby, the only goddamn thing you getting is noodles.
I think I'm gonna have to borrow my nephew because I love cooking, so I know my nephew
do
too. So
he has the
have to
heart
get in
for
the
that.
kitchen.
But let me tell you something. When it come down to that oldest one, I told him, I don't know what's gonna happen when you leave my house a couple years and you going off to college, because you lived on a college diet in my house. Lord. I'm talking about noodles and this, and then be using, if you put another motherfucking seasoning and use that seasoning packet, don't you put nothing else out my goddamn cabinet and them damn saucy ass noodles.
I'm thinking I might have to send my nephew some meal prep packages on his way.
So you definitely gonna have to help him out.
I got my nephew because he's gonna need it.
He when I tell y'all, he gonna need it.
Have a box full of meals when I get done with him.
I'm like, boy, what is you doing? And then now he's on this like a health conscious thing. So he's like very, very, very conscious of like what he eat besides them goddamn noodles. because he putting them in his body regardless. But he's very conscious, like, so he don't really drink sodas, and he's more of a tea person, and he's like fruit and water, like water all day long. Like if he drinks tea, it's definitely because he needs something else flavor, but water all day long. He's very trying to be conscious of what he does, but he's also trying to build like muscle and stuff like that. So, you know, he's trying to educate himself and do all of that, but I know he ain't gonna do it with them damn noodles. I can tell you that because that's the only thing he know. I be like, well, if you don't get in there and cook an egg, and I had to tell him, it's so sad because like Trey was making cinnamon rolls, and this goddamn 16-year-old told me, I don't even know how to bake cinnamon rolls. Trey said, let me teach you. Okay. How is your 10-year-old brother teaching you how to put some goddamn cinnamon rolls in the oven? Not make them from scratch. Put them in the oven and wait until it fucking ding. Like, or looking at the time, set the timer. Like, what do you? I said, oh no, baby, you gonna have to learn something. Do you know how to make a sandwich?
Girl, these kids, honey, these kids.
When I say he get out his own, I feel sorry for. Look, let me tell you something. I taught them everything. If they come in your house, I'm gonna tell you like my mother-in-law tell me. I taught him everything. Now he come in your house, he act like he don't know nothing. They got nothing to do with me.
I promise.
Because my husband, he can't fucking boil. Now he can grill, baby, better than any barbecue place you could ever go to in the St. Louis area.
Come on.
But don't you send his ass in that kitchen and ask him to boil no goddamn water, because it ain't happening. But if it's on the grill, oh, he got you for sure.
And I'm definitely not about to talk about my health conscious ass boo who be.
Oh no, bro, will have us in her eating some motherfucking salmon every day and some raw motherfucking look, I will never forget that motherfucking cauliflower steak he was disappointed on.
Baby,
I will never bro, a cauliflower steak. What the fuck? Like, who finna eat a cauliflower
and confident
steak?
in that shit.
And confident in the shit.
Baby,
we sit there, look, y'all, this is a story for another day, but I would definitely, you know what I'm gonna say, we would definitely have to sit and say, maybe we'll do this on story time, like interrupt the guys. We'll definitely have to tell you guys.
Featured on story time. We might have to talk to you guys about that.
Definitely tell you a story about how we was at the Lake of the Ozarks and how my bro was about to beat the manager ass at Lake of the Ozarks. Definitely a classic story. Definitely hella funny. Definitely a story for another day. But tune in to us as we bring you all the latest of the greatest of everything. From
and you know what?
Regular talk to media.
Yes, indeed. I mean, you know, one thing I can say is the chemistry between me and my sister is just what you hear.
Definitely
all the time. This is not rehearsed. This is not anything.
Freestyle.
It's
this
so
is our
freestyle.
regular conversation.
What we do. But also at the same time, we definitely want to know what you guys think, what you guys want, what it is
we
that you
love
want us to bring.
Constructive feedback.
Yeah, let us know.
Even if you feel like you need to educate us, you know what I'm saying? Second to the side, educate us. You know, don't come here yelling and snapping and shit, you know, but educate us if you feel like we need some education on something. We're definitely open. We're willing. We are definitely teachable. I tell people, if you're not teachable, then there is a problem.
Agree. And if you have to look up the word educate, that way you can educate yourself on how you need to bring whatever you need to say, you know, because like again, we're open, but we ain't.
Yeah, you're not gonna chastise us. You know,
we're not children, and we're not your children. Okay,
it's only one person for both of us that's gonna spank us. But I mean, that's a story for another day. But you know, you're not gonna chastise us.
I mean, okay,
a little choking a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Just a little bit of that, like that. That pain, that pleasurable pain.
But he needs to understand the you know, because I'm telling you, that's another story for another day, because I almost died one day. But, you know, definitely that pleasure and pain is definitely
that's another topic. I'm definitely into getting into some pleasure.
I like
pain.
all of the little stuff, like the freestyle stuff. We're thinking of all, you know, future topics in our freestyle. So I like that. You know, we're supposed to be internet, and we study like throwing out topics and stuff.
I mean, it's just so much more for us to bring,
that is
you know,
true.
In the evening of things.
In the evening of things with Eve.
I'm just saying, you know. So, guys, let us know what it is that you want to do. And you know what? Of course, we're in the process of getting everything together. We kind of just... One thing about us is not only do we love to talk, but we just like feedback, and we want to give you guys feedback and just all kinds of things.
Exactly.
So while we're in the process of getting everything together, again, this is an 80 Souls production. Go under there. Let us know what
Let
you
us
want to
know
know.
what
Let
you
us know
wanna
so we can
talk-
bring this to
talk
life.
about. Let us know what you want us to do.
Yeah.
You know, we'll definitely, you know, I think as the show evolve and grow and grows, that, you know, we'll be doing big things with it. Even, you know, interviewing and even just sitting down and having guest stars on the show. Not necessarily interviewing, but having guest stars and stuff on the show. And bringing some of our audience questions and stuff live. So you have a question out there, you have a topic you want us to talk about or answer a question, hit us up. And we'll read your question live, and
literally
actually get our authentic. Now let me tell y'all something. You know, we are who we are. And we're very authentic. We don't fake it or play it for nobody.
At all.
So trust me, when you get our authentic answer, just beware. You know, like this is us. So we'll definitely give the authenticity of it all. But as we grow, we will definitely have a lot for you guys. So stay tuned. We appreciate you. We appreciate you guys tuning in to us on Fridays or whenever you listen. We appreciate you giving us time and taking out time for Evening with Eve.
Yeah.
So shout out to you guys. Shout out to our listeners.
Yeah.
Shout out to 80 Souls Production
Yes.
or 80 Souls. You know, this is the production part of it.
Yeah.
But there is more than just production. It's so much under there, guys.
It is. And
I'm saying like a lot of different podcasts. They just like released a new podcast. Talk Your Shit.
Yes, that's so good.
Into it. It's really funny and it's really good to hear Mel's perspective and to talk about things because it's hard to get that. You know what I'm saying? Just authenticity with Mel, just talking about everything. Yes. It's no topic off limits. So shout out to 80 Souls.
I really do have to shout them out because what I love about it is the fact that, again, 80 Souls Production is bringing you so many
variety.
It's bringing a variety of so many different types of whatever you into.
Exactly.
You know, you got story time, you got DDCB, you got us, you got off the grid, you got so whatever you're into, 80 Souls gonna bring it to you. And there's so much there. So that's why we always like to let you guys know. To let us know what it is that you like, what you're into, and what else you would like us to bring. You know what I mean? Because that's something that we definitely want as much feedback if we can to get that back from you guys.
For sure.
While y'all are doing that, if you are interested as well, a lot of the tunes that we got going on are coming from Artist Someone. So if you are on any type of music platform, whether
definitely
it is Spotify, Google Music, Apple, whatever you got going on.
All streaming platforms.
Yes, on all of it. COTV. Tuesday morning, I gotta tell you that just again coming from experience, I can just tell you some of my favorite songs that I absolutely love. I mean, I know, of course, this is just so happened to be one of the popular ones, but Cherries, I feel like you can bop your head to Cherries, you can groove to Cherries, you can ride to Cherries, you can do whatever you want to do with that.
Definitely.
And then, of course, I mean, it's like a little short song, but it'll just get you right where you need to be. One of my favorites, Neophyte. I love that damn song. You know what I mean? And then
shout
also,
out to Sun One, definitely download.
Yeah, it's one that I know. Another one, Wishful Thinking. That's like downright just one of my. Just get you in that mode type of thing. So I definitely want to just shout that.
You guys will not be disappointed.
Absolutely.
Download, take a listen for yourself. You will definitely gain. And, you know, do some, actually, look, some cool points. Let us know what your favorite song is on either album.
Yeah.
Definitely put it out there and let us know. But definitely download. You guys will not be disappointed. Yeah. Coming from a fan's perspective, like I said, I would never, ever, 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 ever tell you go get something without me listening to it, knowing what. Definitely go get it. Our intro music actually come from the Artist Someone. So
it does. That's why we see it's personable, guys. We letting you know for a reason.
Definitely
it's there.
Go and get that. And definitely we'll leave you guys with our last sponsor, Pseudo Baker. Cutting the cards, cutting the cost.
Okay.
Definitely go and look up Pseudo Baker and, you know, do your research for yourself. Yeah. But I promise you won't be disappointed. All you need is Wi-Fi and some type of connecting box for Pseudo Baker. But everything from the latest fights. You know how you have to pay $99 for that on Showtime? Is there for free. Everything your television needs, download Pseudo Baker or definitely, go and look it up and definitely holler at Pseudo Baker if you guys need anything dealing with cable. We will leave you guys with that. Thank you for Evening with Eve, and we will definitely we won't make you guys wait as long as we had last time, but we'll be back to you guys sooner than later. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.